Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? I'm just cleaning off the Challenger. We finished doing the cultivating up there. I have also taken the Combine, which we did have over there, all the way up to field 1. Little convoy we had going along the road, and we went all the way up there. It is now up there and waiting. Oop, pressure washer's hose restricts you from going any further. We don't want to go any further then. As far as I can reach. And clean off some of this side. Big old cultivator this one is, so it's not very easy to clean. And having cleaned cultivators in real life, they can be a bit of a pig to clean off. They really can, because you get the bits of dirt and everything that accumulates right in under and in round all of these tines, and you've got to sort of keep moving at all different angles with the pressure washer. And of course that means that the water can, as you go around different angles, it sprays right back onto you. It's not much fun. You end up getting as much dirt on you as was on the cultivator when you started. So yeah, it's not the most fun task to do, I can assure you, having done it quite a bit. But anyway, that job is done. And something I did forget to do was doing the fertilizer spreading. I should have spread fertilizer on the field before I started doing the other task. What was it? The cultivating. I should have spread the fertilizer on before I did cultivating, and then I could have done some more now, and we'd have had it all finished with the next pass when we do the sowing the seed. But that's all right. I will just put this one going now, and we'll do these 3 fields here, and field 6 up there. I think that one. Nope, there. So that one's had one lot of fertilizer applied to it, so we need to do another couple of coats. One lot will get done with the seed drill, and then we'll do one more lot. For some reason, if you start on this end of the field, it stops when it gets to the end. But if you start over here, it would keep going. The reason I don't like starting at this end is because it'll come up, down a couple times, but then it will actually end up going on to the next field. It sort of crosses over. Because we've expanded that field out a bit, it kind of tries to do the 2 into 1, which gets a little bit annoying. But anyway, we can deal with that. My question for this week is, I'm going to be buying one of these trucks, one of these lorries, one of these big rigs, semis, whatever you want to call them. I know that everybody calls them something different, it would seem. So do you want me to get the SX210 Twinstar, the Phoenix 6x6 Agro-Truck, the MAN TGS 18480, the Lizard TX 415 Barrelcore, or this modded one here, which is the same as this one over here, except that it has an extra axle on the back. That is the Lizard SX310 rather than 210. And I don't think it's supposed to say Twinstar there. I think it's actually Tristar. I think that is a typo. So, it's one of those 5 trucks. It's your vote. It's your game. Head into the comment section. Let us know which one you're picking. And, of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote from the card that should have come up in the top right-hand corner. I will just put this one going on to the next field up there. I know that the Combine is ready, but the weather forecast is going to start raining soon. It doesn't really look like it, but normally we would normally have had rain start by now, and then it will rain for a couple of hours. So I'm a little bit cautious about what we're doing. I'll let that one go there. Right. He's doing fine. He can carry on with that. And we will take that Challenger over to the shop, and so that we can buy our seed drill. And we will head up to where the Combine is and just make a start on the field of beans up there. And then we can come back to the Challenger and start sowing these fields. So I'm going to do these 3 with canola. I will do the field 6 with grass. And I'm going to do field 1 this time round, I think, with barley. Alright, here we go. Made it to the shop. And Helper I has completed their task. So that's the second field fertilized back at the farm. And we'll get the other one fertilized as well. Then we can go with the Amazon. And we got one more coat on each of those to sow. Actually, we need to plow field 15. I didn't even realize that. We'll do that later. That'll be another thing that we do later on. We'll probably do all 3 fields together. That one's going to need ploughing as well. So I think I might plough that one before we plant it. I'm not quite sure yet. If we do that, actually, it means that we're going to need to buy... Right, what? We're going to need to lease another plough, because the one that we've got is that one. I got no intention of keeping that one. I don't want to keep going with that. We got these Lemkin ones here. This one is a 200 horsepower, 4 meter wide. 3 meter wide. This is the bad boy here, 5.7 meters wide. Now, I'm aware that in real life this is actually a subsoiler and not a chisel plow. However, we're going to be using it as a chisel plow. Now, the thing with this one is transporting it round is going to be difficult. I would say, really, we need to put it on some sort of transport trailer. But this is going to be perfect for putting onto our monster of a tractor. So we'll worry about that another time. Anyway, right now we want our drill, seed drill. Where is it? Cultivate sowing machines. And we want to come all the way over here. We've got a couple of mods. We still don't have very many mods for seed drills yet. But anyway, the Amazon Condor. Now this is $224,000, just under $250,000. Right? That is an obscene amount of money. It's $25,000 just to lease. This is a huge thing. Right? There are a lot of tractors that are cheaper than this. Although the tractors, we would actually have more operating hours on them. But anyway, lease. This is what you wanted. Everybody, this is what you wanted. This is what you voted for. I think perhaps this is a little excessive, but I thought that this tractor was perhaps a little bit excessive. But no, everybody else knows better than me. What does Frith know about it? He's just the one that's actually doing what he's told. By the way, don't tell Sen, my wife, that I've been doing what I'm told, because she'll expect that to continue. Right, so yeah, absolutely massive, great big machine. And if you have a look, let me just show you really closely. If you look in there, see the shape of the coulters on there? That is the exact shape of the Amazon drill that I used to use, direct drill. And those sharp points on there, and then the reinforced legs on them, is for a direct drill. That is how it's supposed. That is actually a direct drill. That is the coulter for a direct drill. So I don't know why they haven't done it for this game. Something that irritates me about this, the fact that they have put this thing as a non-direct drill, because that is a direct drill. You can see it quite clearly. Those coulters on there, they're designed for ripping through hard ground. They're not designed for only being able to, I really should check both ways before I cross the road. But yeah, those coulters are not designed to only be able to go through pre-tilled soil. They till it themselves. That's what they're there for. Anyway, I will get back over to the yard and we can make a start on planting canola in those 3 fields, and then we will head up the other. We also, actually, once I get back to the yard, the first thing we'll do is we'll make our way up to field 1 and get started on combining those beans, and then we can come back and take a look at this drill in a bit more detail. Right, so I took that back to the yard. We've got the combine here ready to go. I've got the truck right behind me with the header trailer. So we want to get started on this field of beans. I think actually I could just set it going on one side and just leave the hired help to start working through it, and then we'll keep an eye on it and occasionally make our way back up here in order to empty out. I can't go. I've got to be careful where I leave this one though, because it doesn't lift it off the header trailer very well, does it? So let's just bring that back round. We want to open up this one, get this one ready. I do think that doing this field up here as barley is going to present a bit of a challenge to us, because being able to do the entire field of barley is going to mean a couple of trailerfuls, I would say, maybe even more than that, being taken back, unless we get our lorry that we are thinking of getting, our truck, and get that one bought and sent back before. Now look at that, look, it's not quite in the right place, it's dragging it all over. Oh, it's because it was slightly high on the bit over there, but still, it shouldn't be doing it. I don't like it. It's unacceptable behaviour. I think I will go over to this end and we'll do one pass along this top end of the field and then work our way up the other end. Just spin round a bit. There we go. Make sure the reel is all in the right place. That all looks pretty good. And then we can make a start. We're going to need to plough this field. So really, we want to get the planting done down the other end. And then I don't think we're going to be doing very much to, well, at least this field, until we're going to have to do the ploughing. We've got to then come up and do the cultivating. So it's going to be, we're not going to be harvesting everything at the same time. That's what I'm sort of thinking about, is are we going to need to do a harvest right across everything all at the same time, or are we going to have fields down near the yard that are ready to cut quite a way before the fields up here are ready to cut now. Helper F has completed their task. That should be the other field of fertilizer now done. So field 12 should be finished, although given where he's actually positioned, I would say he's probably turned too early once again. I really don't know why they keep doing that. I'm hoping that in the next patch that is fixed. Someone was asking where I seen the information for that. The Giants official forums, there is a few people have said on there, I think when they're looking, but they haven't set a date yet. So sometime in February we're looking at patch 1.4, I believe. But like I said, nothing's set in stone, so we don't really know. It's just guesswork. And we'll stop there, and I'll turn, and then we'll start heading up this way. I'm just going to set the hired help going now and leave it to get on with it, I think. Though I'm wondering if maybe I should just follow it down through. I'll tell you what, I will follow it down through, and we'll do one pass along the other end of the field as well, and then I'll just leave the hired help to carry on, and we can come back up and check on it periodically, because we want to get going with our seed drill. I'm just doing once along the bottom here, and then I'll start working up and down the field. I use the hired help to do that, so we should have plenty of room to be turning round. However, it's looking like the rain is about to start. It's getting a bit darker here. At the moment we've still got some fairly blue sky, but it's definitely taking on a misty feel in the air, so I suspect it's going to start raining soon, in which case we're not going to be able to continue with our combining, because, at least I'm hoping, the game doesn't allow you to combine when it's raining, or hailing for that matter. So actually I'll come up this side actually, and we'll so we've done once around the entire field, and then we'll just stick to this side and just work our way across the field. So let me go up through there, and we'll put the hired help going. So I think I will just watch this for a bit until the actual rain starts, because it does affect the visibility, and I'd like to get a really good look at our Amazon drill once we get started on that one. So I'll just nurse along this combine for a little bit, and as soon as the rain starts I'll let you know, and then we'll wait out the rain. It's getting proper cloudy now. Look at those skies. And we really thought that this combine was the bee's knees, didn't we? It's not. It is going to take a long time to do this field. I mean, got to be honest, that this header isn't actually too bad. It is a reasonable cut. It's actually quite a bit bigger than the other ones that we were looking at. Do not thresh during rain or hail. There we go. So we're now going to have to sit out the rain, and then once the rain has finished, we will then be able to do something. But I will run over and I will get the tractor and trailer. We'll bring those over, and we can at least empty the combine out so that it's ready to go once the rain has stopped. Well, it's actually hailing, to be honest, but still. Either way is not good. If you get hail in the summer, it can actually do some serious damage to your crops. Make it lie flat in the field, and when your crops are lying flat in the field, it's a lot more difficult to actually harvest them. It makes it there's a huge amount of extra work involved when things like that have happened. So let's skip back into the combine and open up the spout. That should... Is it going to clear the trailer? Just. There we go. There's our beans going in there, and is that tractor going to start wobbling now? I've noticed that the tractors do tend to wobble quite a bit with this trailer, but anyway, there's not a lot that we can do about that at the moment. So we'll wait out the rain, and then we can set the combine going and finally get back to having a look at our Amazon seed drill. There really is no sight more depressing than a combine in the rain. Look at that. It just looks miserable and lonely. And yes, it's now 4:30 in the afternoon, and there's no sign of this rainstorm letting up. So it might be that we actually have to wait until tomorrow before we can do anything. Which is a bit unfortunate, but sometimes that is the way with farming. You just have to sit and wait these things out. The rain has finished at last, and it's 5:30. So yeah, we've lost most of the day now. We've got enough time to at least get the planting done, and we should be able to get a good chunk of this done. I'll probably have to work through the night in order to finish doing combining, but it should be okay. So I'm going to let the hired help carry on with this one. That's doing just fine. I've already unloaded the first load, so it should do a couple of passes, 3, maybe 4 passes up and down the field before it needs emptying out again. So yeah, we're not going to need to worry about it for a bit. I'm going to head down to the other end now, and we're going to get started with our planting of canola. Right, at last we can get started on planting our canola. So first of all, we need to load this thing up. So we'll use our super easy system of stuffing fertilizer and seed into the machines. Hopefully we've got enough fertilizer. We don't actually have a very big pile of the stuff left. I think we are going to have to very soon, actually. No, it looks like we're going to use it all up. That's not a good thing. How much do we take? Crumbs. Look at how much is going in there. I think we're going to have to back away, because I don't want to use it all up. I don't want to risk the... Yeah, I'll back away. Fourth. Actually, we might be all right. What I don't want to risk is the conveyor belt pulling seed from the other side. Oh no, it's not going to. It's not going to let us take any more. It's now full, but we got no fertilizer left on the ground, so we are going to have to, at the beginning of next week, bring more fertilizer back. That's going to have to be one of our top priorities. How much seed we've got? We've got plenty more. Because the seed was cheaper, we bought more of it when we first loaded everything up. So the back section is loaded with fertilizer, and then the front section there, it's even got the grill in there. Look, see that grill there? That's brilliant. So you use that one for when you're loading up. So even though the machine has one section for fertilizer and 2 sections there for seed, absolutely stuffed full, it actually holds more fertilizer than it does seed. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. But anyway, at least you can see both of them in there. That is a good start. Load that one up. Oh, and there's another thing there, actually. Let me just hop back in and we'll open it up. And then come out. You got the steps here. Can we actually climb up these steps? It doesn't let us. It's one thing that it does annoy me a little bit with this game, is it doesn't let you climb up onto the machines like you could in real life. So yeah, this one, it should actually be a direct drill, and you can see it quite clearly from the really strongly reinforced coulters on there. You wouldn't have something like that if it wasn't a direct drill. In real life, that is definitely direct drill material. So we'll bring it up here, and first of all we've got to select the right seed. So we've got wheat there, we've got barley, and we've got canola. I think I did talk about this previously. Someone was saying that they thought their seed drill was using up the seed at an alarming rate. And I said, well, have you checked what seed you're actually using? Because something I've noticed is you use seed at different rates in this game, depending on what seed you're using. And I did say, I can't remember, I think I may have actually said it in a video. I said I thought that... the reason it happened was because of the different sizes of seeds. But someone's also said to me, actually, and I'm very sorry, but I can't remember your name, so you don't get a mention. But know that I appreciate your efforts. Someone said to me, well, actually, it's also the population of plants per acre, because some plants you plant at like 30 to 40,000 plants an acre. Others, you go in excess of 100,000 plants an acre. So that does make a big difference. Now, the hired help, how is it going to cope with this? We haven't got a huge amount of room to turn around here. But you can turn nice and sharp with this one. I don't know if it's the same with the other tractors, but this one at least, you do get a good turning circle on it. A good small turning circle on it. That is really good. And there is our Amazon drill drilling away. And this tractor doesn't even break into a sweat pulling this one. It's absolutely brilliant. So... in some other versions, in some other maps, there is one called, I think it's Rattlesnake Valley, is it? That's a 4 times map, so basically it's 4 times larger than this one, which is a huge map. It's absolutely massive. Looking forward to being able to play it at some point. I'll probably put time-lapse on that one rather than just doing regular Let's Play. But I'm not planning to actually get started in that one until there are several good quality mods out there of much bigger machines. Because this one is fantastic and all, but when you get onto the really big fields, even this one is just excessively small. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to the machinery that's really going to give these type of tractors a bit of a run for their money. I think it's going to be great fun being able to use them. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. It's going to be quite difficult as well when you've got huge acreage, managing getting all the fertilizer out, because I got at no point am I planning to switch it to doing to just one fertilizer stage. I'll keep it on the 3 because I like that. It's quite realistic. It's a good approach, I feel. So at no point am I going to be changing the way that we're doing this. I might, however, change up the tractors and so on, but well, we want to do that anyway. I love this machine. It's really good. I am really pleased with this drill. I know that this is like excessively big and it's ridiculously expensive to run and all the rest of it, but I am quite pleased that you all picked it because it does it all so quickly. It's fantastic. And I haven't been able to use this one since FS13, and this was my favourite drill in FS13. I had 3 tractors set up with these drills, and I had the entire map. There's the original map, and I had the whole map done. I ploughed every single field to make them bigger, and I had 3 tractors with these drills on, and they didn't take fertilizer back then. So what I would do is I had a front-mounted small fertilizer spreader, and I would run 2 together. Yeah, I would run the 2 together. You would have a front-mounted fertilizer spinner that was actually, it was a meter wider than the seed drill, and then the seed drill itself running along behind, and that worked really well. You do, because you only had 1 pass operation for fertilizer, obviously. It would do the entire thing. It was single pass operation all the way through, and it was a direct drill as well. So no ploughing, no cultivating, no nothing. All I had was 3 of these with 3 fertilizer spreaders on the front. Hit the button and away it went. It was fantastic. Such efficiency. It brought a tear to the eye. It really did. It was amazing. I was so impressed with that. Right, you have not completed your task. Not by a long shot. You've got a huge, great big section. There, now you've completed your task. So we'll back up a little bit. Turn it off. Fold it up. And it's the folding as well that I really like. The way that it lifts everything up and sort of dangles the coulters behind it before it starts folding it into the middle like that. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. I really am so pleased to have this Condor back. I loved this seed drill. This was by far my favourite seed drill in FS13. I didn't actually do any YouTube videos of FS13. I wasn't doing YouTubing back then. But yeah, if I had been, I definitely would have been making videos of it because, oh, it was so much fun. It really was so much fun. Yeah, right, let's get this next one done. I would like to get all 3 of these done this evening and probably get the combining done as well. That'll all get finished. So by next episode, which will be tomorrow morning, ooh, I need to be over a little bit. I'm just a little bit too far out, aren't I? Yeah, I'll have done the drilling down here, and I've done the combining at the top end. I'll take the seed drill up there, and I'm actually going to see if the Valtra can handle this seed drill at all. It's got any chance of it whatsoever, because then I can stick the Challenger here on a new plough. We can take that plough that we got over there, we can take it back to the shop, and we can get a brand new plough, an absolutely great big plough, and run that one instead of the little tiny one that we got, because we're going to need something a bit bigger to plough up field 1. I think we need something a little bit more substantial than we've got at the moment. But yeah, we can worry about that another time. So once we get up to the top end here, we're going to do 1 pass along the top, and then we can just leave the hired help doing the rest of this field. That's going to work out quite nicely, because it's these couple of trees here that it doesn't seem to like. See, it's already leaving a gap. So if I do it like this, and then you've got to carefully come round. You don't want to jackknife it too hard, or you do end up touching the machine with the wheel of the tractor, or the track, as you know it is this time. And lower those down. Right, now let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try and do this by hand. I'm not very good at this because this tractor is so sensitive. I tend to drift from side to side. And next week then we will also be able to go and plant field 6 with grass, which will lay the groundwork for being able to get the cattle in. Hoping to have done a couple more jobs by then so that I can get I don't want to go any further than that, I don't think. If I get yeah, I get that planted, we can get some cattle ready, and then when field 6 is grown, we can then mow that one. We've got a baler so that we can bale up. We'll be able to store some hay temporarily. We can also do some silage. and in bales. Basically, we can do the whole lot with bales. We've got straw down there. We can do some hay bales, or we could do some silage bales. But actually, with the cattle, it's one or the other for those. If you have a look, it's silage or hay, and you have to have fresh grass, which is always confused me. I thought that was a little bit odd. I would have thought that you would have grass or hay and silage, but well, that's the way that we're doing it. So we're going to need to give them a little bit of fresh grass, but we'll also need to give the sheep some stuff as well, because they are running very low. We also need to get them clean, and we'll need to have some way to clean the cattle. So we've got several things that we need to be getting on with. So I need to get all of this planting and all the rest of that business done as soon as we possibly can. So my question for this week is, which of these trucks would you like me to get? Would you like me to get the Lizard SX210 Twinstar? And this mod over here, the Lizard SX310. Now that is actually, I think, supposed to be Tristar. I'm sure that it's a typo in here, because if you look in the mod section, it actually says Tristar. And that one has an additional axle on the back. That's the difference in that one. It's no other difference in the truck whatsoever. It's just that extra axle on that one. Or do you want the Phoenix 6x6 Agro-Truck, the MAN TGS 18480, or the Lizard TX 415 Barrelcore? Now it's your vote. It's your game. Obviously, mouse over in the little click on the white circle up here with the eye in the middle and cast your vote. I know that you don't get a lot of them over in the States, but you do see some of these in the States. I have actually researched that and checked it, and all of these models are available to buy in the States. I don't know if they're all available to buy brand new, but you can definitely get them secondhand over there. So, yeah, you don't need to worry about that. Personally, this one's my favourite, but that's because it's not... This isn't a British make. I think Tatra is actually a European, somewhere. I think it's more an Eastern European thing actually, but I'm not sure. I don't know about that. I'm just guessing. I just like the look of it. I like the appearance of this one, and I quite enjoyed using it in FS15 and my own private games. So yeah, I have a bit of a soft spot for that particular truck. But anyway, it's your vote. There's 5 to choose from. Let us know which ones you want and head into the comment section and tell us all about it. Helper H has a full grain tank. I will have to head up there shortly and empty that one out. This one is carrying on beautifully. A topic of conversation for today, as I haven't actually given you one yet, is which seed drill do you guys like and why? I know that a lot of people do go for a huge, great big seed drill, but... is there a bigger one that you like? Is there a modded one? It doesn't even have to be in-game. It could be a real-life one that you've used or you've seen used on a YouTube video. I know not everybody is farmers. And I've seen a big bud pulling this huge, great big air-powered seed drill in Australia that would just look fantastic. It was one of the biggest seed drills in the world. I would love to see a mod of that. That would be impressive. It really would. But anyway, I have rattled on for plenty long enough this week. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And of course, if you really liked it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.